As we look forward to the 2020 season, Rangers Network is celebrating the 45th anniversary of Smithson Valley High School football by taking a look at monumental plays throughout Ranger history that form the building blocks that shape our foundation for success and weave the tradition that is Ranger football. Head coach Larry Hill has reunited the coaches and players to relive the magical moments one more time. Get your guns up for the year 2001.
Welcome, Ranger fans, to our next episode. Today, we feature the 2001 season. It was indeed a memorable year for Ranger football. Coming off a quarterfinal trip in the previous season in 2000, there was a lot of optimism in the preseason and the offseason, but there were some big holes to fill as well. For instance, who would fill Cody Fuller's shoes? Caught 87 passes the year before, taking his talents up to Lubbock and go to Texas Tech, and we had that. We had some big holes on defense to fill, and so, but yet at the same time, coming off a quarterfinal season, optimism was high, and we thought we could do it. And we adopted a team motto as we do every year, and it was just simply a series of 6 numbers in a row: 1, 2, 1, 5, 0, 1. Clint Haney is with us today, on the running backs on the 2001 team. And Clint, first of all, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, 1, 2, 1, 5, 0, 1. When the old man, the old head coach, when he said that in boot camp, what the heck did that mean?
We didn't know. I mean, it was just a bunch of numbers. And then when it was explained to us that 12/15/01 was the date of the state championship game, and we were going to be playing on that date.
Pretty lofty goal for a school that had not been there. Had a semifinal trip, I guess, 3 years prior, and had some 2 and 3 rounds in the playoff runs. But you know what? We were going to play on that day, and that's what part of this show is going to be. So the next 2 episodes of memorable moments in Ranger football will be about just that. Well, we're going to start with a memorable game, the Fredericksburg game. Coming into the 9th game of the season, where the Rangers traveled to Fredericksburg, Smithson Valley was 8-0 and ranked number 3 in the state. Fredericksburg was 4-4 and just trying to get a foot in the door and maybe have a shot for the playoffs. So this game has, from the outside, probably going to be a mismatch. But Fredericksburg, for some reason, always gave Smithson Valley trouble. And just the year before in the playoffs, we ran the opening kickoff back. We think we're going to blow them out, and they run the kickoff back for a touchdown, and it's a war, and we just barely win. For whatever reason, it was an opponent we just never seemed to match up real well with. So, but we're on a mission to get to 1, 2, 1, 5, 0, 1. So let's go to that game. Get to the stadium, and it's early November, and it's going to be one of the most frustrating yet exhilarating games in the history of Ranger football. We struggle the whole game long. We have a hard time stopping their talented running back. We're inconsistent and lurching offensively. We're turning the ball over some. They're not turning it all over at all. But finally, in the 4th quarter, we seem to get a handle on things. So we're going to go to the tape. The game was back and forth, but finally in the 4th quarter, as we go to the game tape, we seem to get an edge. Reagan Schneider, one of our talented players and also a great field goal kicker, you can see is on the field here. And he's going to connect from what appears to be about 34 yards, 44-yard field goal there to give us a lead. And, you can see with 9 minutes to go, Smithson Valley has the lead. And, okay, finally we've settled down. We got a handle on things. And let's go, stop them, play a little defense, put the game away. Okay, well, Fredericksburg doesn't go for that. We kick off to them after the field goal. The ball goes 5 yards deep, and we don't lay a finger. This back rush for 270-something that night. Of course, he's going to add a 103-yard kickoff return to give them the lead. And then to add insult to injury, after we're through with that, then we fumble the kickoff, okay? And then we give a fumble the kickoff. They get another field goal. Now we trail. we find ourselves with about 4 minutes to go, got to go to the length of the field just to tie it. You can see a touchdown pass here from Laren Bybee, our quarterback, to Mike Pavelik, one of our receivers. And we do tie it. And then right before the end of regulation, we get a turnover. Mike Pavelik, you're on with us right now, number 9 right there in the screen. Are we really going to try a 61-yard field goal?
Yeah, I remember lining up for that and thinking it was a long ways out, but with Reagan kicking, I mean, it gave us a chance. So,
well, I remember Coach Lind, who coached our kickers at that time, he says, Coach, he can make it. We sent him out on the field. I think I was telling you guys earlier that I didn't realize it was 61 yards, or I might have called timeout and reconsidered, but we didn't have a timeout. So we're going to try a 61-yard field goal to win it. And I tell you what, it's pretty close. Ball came out like a shot.
He had the leg for it.
He did, just wide to the left. So we're going to overtime. Smithson Valley gets the ball first. We get down to about the 1-yard line. Laren Bybee runs in there behind big Corey Clark, Trey Branson. We get it in. So if we can stop them, we're going to win. Well, we're going to have a hard time stopping them. They run about the second play of overtime. He run the same back, runs through a couple tackles, and he gets it in. So it looks like if they kick, we're going to go to second overtime. But they decide not to kick. Instead, they're going to go for 2 and try to win the game. With the arrow on him is Chris Dabbs. We're going to bring Chris on the show now. Chris is a junior defensive end at this time, and you can see that he's on the left side here. Chris, thanks for coming aboard today.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
Well, somebody's got to make a play. We're either going to win or lose on this play. They're going to make the 2-point play and beat us. We're going to stop them, and we're going to beat them. I'm going to let it run through, and let's see what Chris Dabbs did here. Thought for sure they'd run their best back. They do, but they pitch on a reverse. Looks like he's going to make it. And you make the play.
Yeah, I was shocked they didn't they didn't take it the other way with that back. You had, 200-something yards that game?
270-something yards, and they run the reverse. Let's look at it again. Let's just let it run through this time. They pitch it. Once again, you kind of go for the shoestring tackle. Just get him, touches off a celebration. Even your young head coach runs out on the field there. Man. All right, let's break it down. All right, let's see. What are you thinking here? Do you have any idea what they're fixing to do? I mean, as you line up over there.
Oh, they're giving it to 22, no question. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
He's getting the ball.
We're going to have to buck up and stop them. And you can see as the play unfolds, it's a pitch sweep to the right. Our linebacker and backside cornerback, they're doing what they should do. They're running with the sweep.
Yep.
Now they pitch it. Now, what are you thinking right here? Why are there 2 arrows there?
Well, I was supposed to be on the outside of that. I was supposed to stay on the outer half, but I saw him pitch it, and like I said, it was known across all of us, I think, in that huddle right before the play that, 22 is getting the ball, so we've got to take him down. And I saw him pitch it that way, start going, so I cut under him, kind of pursue it, and luckily I was able to kind of redirect there. And
you bet. He's got a lot of space, doesn't he? Look at that line on the right of the screen. All Smithson Valley's over here. You're either going to make the play or we're going to lose. And then right about there, what do you got to decide?
I've got to decide if I'm going to dive for him or I'm going to try to tackle him from behind. And you can tell he's a little bit smaller than I am, so I went ahead and went for the safe bet and laid out for him.
We're doggone glad you did. And, that's the thing about overtime is we're going to find out the other way in the state championship game. It all ends happily or sadly in one play. And, what's weird, we didn't play very good. Now we're 9-0. They're 4-5. But look at these guys. I mean, we're as excited as if we just beaten the Green Bay Packers. And there's Garrett there. I think he's just relieved. Is that you, Garrett? He's watching. So anyway, well, what a fabulous game, and I don't think anybody had any idea that that's how that game was going to go that night. You can see the final score, 37-36. So we win the next week. We go 10-0. We win our first round playoff game pretty handily. Win our second round playoff game, and now it's a rematch in the third round, a quarterfinal round, a rematch against Roosevelt. Laren Bybee. Laren is going to come on the show now. Laren was a quarterback in both 2000 and 2001. He was a senior on this 2001 team. Laren, it was a rematch of the 2000 game in the same round with the same two teams. What do you remember about that game?
I mean, first and foremost, thanks for having me. We all knew it was your brother on the other side of the field. So there's something special that's going on that evening. And just to have a chance to have a rematch, anybody that competes, anybody that has that side of them that wants to win, you want a rematch. And that's what we got. And we got what we wanted.
Well, you know, he had made little brother cry the year before. Was it 63-28, something like that? And, oh, boy. But both teams are 12-0 coming in. Both teams are ranked. But if you guys remember, we still were perceived to be the underdog, even though we both had the same record. I guess the results from the year before, maybe had everybody thinking that way. But they take a 7-0 lead early, and then we're going to answer. Okay, let's go to the game tape. We played over there at Harlandale Stadium, one of the few artificial turf stadiums in the area at that time. We run a reverse. Clint Haney. Clint, you going to come on in here? Who's that? Mike Hernandez leading the way there?
Yeah, sure. That's what it looks like. They, they did, that whole line did such an awesome job that entire year, and they definitely put it on this night because that was, it was fun running behind them.
Well, that ties it. You can see we're in the second quarter now. It ties it, but they're not going away. They're 12-0 for a reason. They run off tackle here, get a good block, and popped it out to the outside. Now they're up 14-7. So, we've got to do something to get back. Another big throw and catch, though. We faked to Clint. Play action pass, and then Laren rolls to the right, and Clint goes out the back door to the left. Laren throws that thing back. You can see we're not really all that open, Clint.
No, and I can remember out there and seeing those two guys, and then I remember looking back at the football, and I thought that I had just closed my eyes because I honestly do not remember the football. And but there's a picture taken from our sideline that you can actually see the light in my eyes. So I guess I had them open.
Well, I guess so, but they got one in front of you, one behind, but Laren drops it out of the clouds right in there. You make a nice catch in traffic, get it in the corner of the end zone, and we go in up at the half tied. Okay, so it's game on, minute to go in the half. It ends up staying tied at the half. But I really thought when we came out in the second half, I thought the key to the game, I thought our defense took over, stopped their run, made them one-dimensional, and I thought our offensive line just went to town. And Clint's going to score 5 touchdowns this evening. But this play here it's 4th and 1. We had great confidence in our offensive line near midfield. And we just run a quarterback sneak against a loaded box, and they just blow them off the line. Laren's able to duck in there behind them, keep the drive alive. And, it's going to lead us down to this big throw and catch. Now, Mike Pavelic is on here. Mike's on the lower part of the screen. We'll bring Mike back. I'm going to run that back. You can see Mike just on the lower part of the right-hand corner of the screen right there as he's edging up. Mike, what kind of route are you fixing to run here?
I believe it was a post corner route with Laren throwing back across the field.
Right. Got to have a strong arm to do that. We're going to fake left, roll left, set our feet, wheel all the way back, and throw a corner route. Right after that 4th down run, there's a good fake to Clint. Laren setting his feet, getting great pass pro, and then just throwing a dime. That ball's just right there, and then Mike catches that thing just on his fingertips, falls, inside the 5, and we're gonna go knock it in, and we're gonna take us a 7-point lead. Now this was a pivotal play. Chris Dabbs, we're gonna bring Chris back, the hero of the Fredericksburg game, and we're up 7. There's about 5 minutes to go in the game. They're going to settle for a field goal to pull to within 4. What happens here, Chris? Take us through this.
Yeah, so I still remember it like it was yesterday. Justin Mazurek was lined up next to me, and I told him to make sure he pulled that guy and made that gap wide. And you can kind of see it in the film that, I basically just walk right through a big hole, and that's all credit to Justin Mazurek. So I just remember it was a big time, and then and he didn't get the credit for it, but he definitely deserved it.
Well, and you took it in the face, if I remember. But you're going to come right on the inside. Great penetration. Kick is blocked. The ball's beyond the line of scrimmage. We let it go. So we're still up 7. There's about 4 or 5 minutes to go. We need about 3 first downs and a touchdown to end this thing, and we're going to the semifinals. Big play by our defense, and of course Chris with the field goal block. And here we go. It is 3rd and 1. Clint Haney, we're going to bring you back. We need a first down. If we can get a first down, obviously we'd love to score. But what does that box mean? What's going on here?
There's a lot of blue jerseys like right on the line of scrimmage, and as a running back, that's not typically something that you like to see. I mean, that's
right.
That's everybody.
Let it run through and see what the result is. Let it run through there. We pop it, bam, you're out the gate, 78 yards for what amounts to be the game winner, going up 2 scores with just a few minutes to go. Let's look at it again. We can feature some of these blocks here because obviously you mentioned it was crowded. There's Mark Colby going in motion, and he's going to block the edge. They got a blitzer off the edge. He's going to take care of the immediate threat for you. Okay, then we got Trey Branson, big Corey Clark, Mike Hernandez just taking over the right side, just blowing them back. You need a yard.
Yep.
Now, with that block John Miller gets, about right now, what are you thinking?
I made that cut, and I don't remember if it was 56 or 54, but there was a hole. They made it. I made that cut, and then, like I said, with nobody in the secondary, I mean, it was.
Yeah, we're excited. We're thinking we got the first down, keep the clock moving. But then there's everybody at that level. So when you pop it, there's no one left. And off we go. Had that speed, and they weren't going to catch you. Rangers.
And I remember seeing my shadow, thinking that I was about to get caught, and I couldn't run away from it.
Well, you know what? Let's get one more before we end the game. There's 4th and 1. We're inside of a minute. They're unlikely to get the ball back and do anything with a 2-touchdown lead. But there's that 11-man box again. We're just looking for a first down. But there they all are. That was easy peasy there. Yeah.
They didn't get much easier than that.
No. Touchdown. Rangers 13-0. They're going to the semifinals, first time in 3 years, only the second time in school's history. Avenged a loss, as we said, from the year before. And, pretty happy over there in Harlandale that night. And good times. For Ranger fans, that's the first part of our 2001 episode. We still got some more playing to do. There's a semifinal game against Nederland that awaits. State championship game against Denton Ryan that awaits. But we thank y'all for watching. We thank our players for being on, and we're going to bring them back to finish this season on our next episode. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time.